Leo Bray here, coming to you from the northeast corner of Ruth Hardy Park in Palm Springs on behalf of Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center of Palm Springs. You can join us here live in the park at a distance and bring a mask and bring your water bottle. 8:15 Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 9:45 Sunday. Check us out online at urbanyoga.org or Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center on Facebook to see the class schedule. We have Zoom classes every day of the week, and to visit our tip jar where you can make contributions to contribute to the contributions to contribute. Yeah, you can make contributions to support our Zoom classes. Okay. Thanks for joining us. We'll start out today in a seated or kneeling posture of your choice. You don't have to sit the way I'm sitting. Sit so that you're comfortable. Maybe that's not like this. Feel into your contact with the ground. Feel into the length of your spine. So sit up tall but not stiff or rigid. Just think about the length of your spine. Maybe on the inhale, think of the crown of your head reaching up as your lungs fill and your spine extends. Close your eyes if you want to. Focus on your breathing to get started, letting it get deeper and slower. Observe the movements of your breathing. Take in the sensations that accompany these movements. And observe whatever other sensations are present in your body as we get started here. Scan your body head to toe. See what's going on there. Make particular note of anything that's feeling out of whack this morning as we settle in to start practice. Any stiffness or any soreness that might be there making itself known. You may think of sending your breath into those trouble spots and making note of them so that you can keep them in mind during practice, remembering that you are always welcome to skip or modify any portion of the practice I'll be offering. Everything but the breathing is optional. By modifying practice to suit what you have going on, you can find the practice that's best for you. And whenever your attention wanders from noticing your breath and noticing what's going on in your body, just gently redirect and come back to these points of focus, our shared intentions of taking care of ourselves and observing ourselves. And maybe in addition to these shared intentions, you like to set your own more personal, specific intention for practice this morning? If so, take the time to do that now. Let that finish coming together and sink in for a few breaths. And before we start to move around, I invite you to take 3 deep cleansing breaths. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth with a sigh. Let your eyes open up if they're still closed. Let's start from the bottom today. Start at our foundation of our feet. So I've got one leg in front of the other. I'm grabbing the leg in front. Grab one leg, doesn't matter which one. And hold your shin with that hand. With the opposite hand, get your fingers all in between your toes as best you can. And start to make some slow, gentle circles. So let your foot hang limp, let the ankle be relaxed, and let the hand and the arm do the work. Change direction, take a few circles the other way. See if you can slow down a little more. Sometimes the slowing down is the trickiest part. And release your toes. Support your leg with both arms. So the whole leg is sort of hanging limp in the hip socket. Make circles, rolling the femur around the socket. Change direction at some point. And let this leg down, hoist the other one. Get those fingers in between those toes. And start some circles with that foot. Change direction, take a few going the other way. And release your toes. Support your leg with both arms. Start some slow, gentle circles with your leg. Take a few in each direction. And let your leg down. Inhale, draw your heart forward, let your head tip back. Exhale, draw your heart back, let your head tip forward and down. Like cow pose, cat pose, but sitting up instead of being on our hands and knees. Let's start some circles. So as you come forward, go over to one side, and as you go back, go to the other. And try to keep both butt cheeks on the ground. Try not to rock so much that you lift one or the other. So maybe the circles aren't as big if you stay anchored in your seat. That's okay. Will reduce the likelihood of tipping over onto your side. Maybe slamming your shoulder on the ground. Take a few circles the other way. And when you finish the next circle, sit up again. See, I almost tipped over onto my back at the end of that last one. Let your chin come down towards your chest. We'll start some nice slow circles with the head. Easing some tension out of the neck. Necks are tight in the morning, whether it's from sleeping or because you've been up all night. If you feel a spot that's particularly tight, maybe you pause at the tight spot and go back and forth a little. Change direction, take a few circles the other way. When you finish your next circle, look forward again. Bring your hands out to the sides, rest your fingertips on the ground. Inhale, reach your left arm up alongside your ear. As you exhale, reach across to the right. Feel for length from your hip up through your fingertips. With an inhale, bring yourself upright. And as you exhale, come into a twist. Bring that hand to the ground behind you. Bring the other hand across your opposite leg. Inhale, lengthen up to the crown of your head. As you exhale, invite your body to twist some more. Just see how much feels like enough. Maybe you're already there. Maybe there's a little more room. Let yourself unwind, come back through center. Inhaling, raise the other arm, and exhale, reach across. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, come into your other twist. Then inhale, find length again. Exhale, see about twisting some more. Repeating this for each breath. Let yourself unwind, come back to center. Let's come up onto our hands and knees. Open your hands way up, feel your whole palms on the ground. Shoulders above your wrists and hips above your knees. Inhale, bring your heart forward, let your head and tailbone go up. Exhale, draw your heart up, let your head and tailbone come down. Take a few more rounds at the pace of your breath. And then come back to table with your back parallel to the ground. Reach back and press into the ball of your left foot and take a couple breaths. On an inhale, pick that foot up, reach straight back through the sole of your foot. With your next inhale, reach your right arm out to the side. If you want, bend your leg, reach back so you can take hold of your foot or your ankle, kick against your hand, lift your knee, lift your chin. Release and lower down. Reach back and press into the ball of your right foot. Take a couple breaths, letting the leg lengthen. On an inhale, pick your foot up and reach straight back. With your next inhale, reach your left arm to the side. Bend your leg, reach back, see about that bind. Stretching your quads and opening your shoulder and midline. Release and lower down. Step your left foot up between your hands and your right foot up to meet it. Hang out in a forward fold. Swaying back and forth, bending and straightening your legs. Maybe your hands are hanging in the air, maybe they're dragging on the ground. Gently nod your head yes. And shake your head no. Inhale, lift up halfway, press your hands to the front of your legs, push against your legs. Feel for the crown of your head reaching forward away from your tailbone. Spine lengthening out parallel to the ground. With an exhale, relax down into your fold again. Inhale, roll up to standing, float your hands overhead, bring your hands together. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Let your hands hang at your side. My glasses are too loose. Lift your left shoulder towards your ear. Shift it back and let it down. Your right shoulder up, back, down. Inhale, reach straight out to the side. As you exhale, reach for your shoulder blades and hug yourself, or if you like, come to eagle arms. Intertwine your arms, press your palms together. If you're an eagle, move your elbows and your hands forward and up, away from your face, away from your torso. Inhale, open. As you exhale, cross the opposite way. Take a couple deep breaths into the big space between the shoulder blades. Inhale, open up. Exhale, let your arms come down. Inhale your arms out and up. Interlace your fingers, flip your palms up. Look up at those hands, lift up your heart. Inhale to bring yourself upright. As you exhale, bend to the right, feel full length through both arms. Try to keep the left heel anchored. Inhale to come up. Exhale to bend to the left. Inhale to come up. Exhale, let your arms come down. Inhale out and up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Rest your fingertips on the ground. Step your left foot back. Runner's lunge. Inhale, reach forward, reach up, crescent lunge. If you feel wobbly, adjust your stance until you're less wobbly. If the high lunge is too much at any time, you can drop this back knee, uncurl these back toes, do that lunge instead. I'm going to do a rocking movement for the hips and an arm movement to go with it. Exhale, sink forward in your hips, lower your arms parallel to the ground. Inhale, glide back up, and let the movement in your legs be as big or small as you want. Adjusting to accommodate any knee issues you might have. As I go let someone in from the waiting room who's coming in late. Reach your right hand forward, left hand back, twist to the left. Come back to the center and twist to the right. Come back through center. Exhale, bring your hands down and step your right foot back to meet your left. Downward dog. Pedal your feet up and down for a few breaths, finding length throughout the back of your body. As I sneak forward, not very stealthily, make an adjustment to my screen. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step your feet forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, down. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, down. Rest your fingertips and step your right foot back. Runner's lunge. Inhale, reach forward, reach up, find your crescent lunge on this side. Find steadiness in the placement of your feet and legs. Like you're dropping an anchor from your pelvis to the ground. Exhale, sink forward, lower your arms. Inhale, glide up again. A few more times.
Okay.
One more. And twist to the right. Left hand forward, right hand back. Twist to the left. Come back through center. Exhale, bring your hands down. Step your left foot back. Downward dog. Nod your head. Shake your head. Take 3 cleansing breaths in downward dog. Let your knees down and make your way to child's pose for a minute. Let your breath take over. The child's pose can be active or passive as you like. Vary it any way that suits you. To our friend who joined late, I just muted you to try to make sure that I can be heard on the recording we're doing. If you need to ask me anything or tell me anything, you can unmute. Let me know if you ever have trouble hearing me. Inhale, come forward, pass through table, make your way slowly back up to downward dog. Lift your left leg high, inhale, bend your knees, stack your hips. If you want, you could flex your foot, make circles with your knee, or flip your dog if that's in your practice. Maybe you do a bit of both. If you flip, softly flip back, gentle landings only. Square your hips down. Exhale, draw your knee towards your left elbow, and take a breath. Inhale, reach up again. Exhale, draw your knee towards your right elbow, take a breath. Inhale, reach up again. Exhale, draw your knee towards your nose, round your back, plant your foot between your hands, runner's lunge. It's okay if it takes more than one step. Now spin the right heel down, ground into the outer edge of the right foot. Warrior 1 feet. Inhale, reach up. So warrior 1 feet, back foot at about a 45-degree angle, front foot. You're grounding into the ball of the front foot, outer edge of the back foot. That's the word I'm trying to find. Couldn't find my next cue. Small bend in the front knee, back leg is long and strong. Arms are up, but shoulders are down a little. And then turn your pinkies in towards each other. Good. Did you feel that move your shoulder blades? It's okay if you didn't. Bring your hands together and tip them forward. We're going to float from this warrior 1 variation to humble warrior like this. Exhale, bow towards your knees, sweep your hands back. Inhale, reach forward and stand up. It's okay if you don't reach your knee. That's why I said towards. We'll do a couple more. All right. So inhale, rise up. Now bring your elbows down to your rib cage. Lower your forearms parallel to the ground. See if you can keep your elbows there. Inhale, slide your hands apart. Exhale, bring them to the front again. Do that a few more times. Inhale and exhale. Good. Bring your hands onto your hips. We'll transition to warrior 2. Pivot your right foot open so it's perpendicular to your left foot. Slide it in line behind your left foot. And maybe you deepen your stance here. I'll turn this way for you. My body always wants to go so my feet are a little further apart when I switch from warrior 1 feet to warrior 2 feet. Shoulders squared above the hips. Reach your arms to the side. And then look out over your left fingertips. Inhale, rotate your palms up. Exhale, rotate forward. Inhale. Exhale. So bring your arms parallel to your mat. Your arms are perpendicular to your mat there. Turn your left palm up. Inhale, tip back and reach up, reverse warrior. So this bottom hand might rest slightly on your leg or press against your hip for support or slide across your low back in the half bind. Breathing deeply into the left side. Exhaling, tip forward, rest your left forearm lightly on your left side. Reach your right arm up overhead. If you want, you can make circles with the right arm, the upper arm, opening the shoulder up some more. If you want to play with more core engagement here, you could reach your left arm forward or to the side, ensuring that the lower body stays still. If you play with the arm variation, make sure the core is doing the work. If your left arm's extended, bring it back to your leg. Now let's do a warrior dance between side angle here and reverse warrior, like this. Inhale, tip back, reach up, reverse warrior. Exhale, tip forward, reach forward, side angle. Try to keep your lower body where it is and do that for a couple more breaths. Movement and breath, smooth and continue it. It's smoother if you're not talking. And then from side angle here, let's inhale back up to warrior 2. And there's another warrior dance we could do from here. Inhaling, straighten the left leg, raise your arms, turn your head to the right, 90 degrees, gentle warrior. Exhale, float back down to warrior 2. Inhale, glide up. Exhale, glide down. Inhale, glide up. Exhale, glide down. Straighten the left leg most of the way. Draw your right hip back towards your right foot. Let your left hand slide forward and tip. Let your left hand come down, right hand come up, triangle pose. Big deep breath. Exhale, spin that right hand down. Move your hands so they're framing the front foot. You're in a runner's lunge. Then step your right foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, come down. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. Step your right foot back. And step your left foot back. I lose track of what I'm doing. Downward dog. That's okay. Sometimes we shift on the fly. Inhale, raise your right leg. Bend your knee. Stack your hips. Either flex your foot and circle your knee or flip your dog if you like. If your foot nice and gently flip back, square your hips down. Exhale, draw your knee towards the right elbow and take a breath. Inhale, reach up again. Exhale, draw your knee towards your left elbow. Take a breath. Inhale, reach up again. Exhale, draw your knee towards your nose, round your back, plant your foot between your hands. Spin your left foot down, ground into the pinky toe edge of your left foot. Inhale, reach forward, reach up. Settle into warrior 1 for a couple breaths. Good. Bring your palms together, tip the hands forward. Humble warrior. Exhale, bow, reach back. Inhale, reach forward, stand up. 2 more times. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Then bring your elbows down to your rib cage. Lower your forearms parallel to the ground. Inhale, slide hands out. Exhale, bring them to the front. Inhale. Exhale. Keeping the elbows in as best you can. And bring your hands onto your hips. Pivot the left foot open. Slide it in line behind the right foot. Deepen your stance if you like. Square shoulders and hips to the long edge of the mat. Extend your arms. Look over your right fingertips. Inhale, rotate back. Exhale, rotate forward. A few more times. For those on Zoom or YouTube, I'm smiling because the dog's walking through class. I love dogs. Morning. That's all right. It happens. We're in the public park. Turn your right palm up. Inhale, tip back, reach up. There's the dog. Now you can see him. Take some deep breaths into that right side. One morning as we were winding down practice, the dog came over right onto my mat and licked my face. It was a nice bonus. Exhale, tip forward, reach forward, side angle. Remember, don't dump your weight into this leg and this arm. Let the core stay engaged. Circle the top arm if you like. And if you like, you can play with extending the bottom arm forward or to the side. Don't try to do that and circle your arm because your arms will bang into each other. I see people do that sometimes. Maybe I need to cue it more clearly. No one did it just now. I'm just remembering one from the other day. Bring the bottom arm back in. And let's dance. Inhale, reverse warrior, tip back, reach up. Exhale to side angle, tip forward, reach forward. It can be helpful to track the movement of the right hand with your eyes as you go back and forth. Imagine your body moving between two panes of glass, staying in line with the front foot. Inhale, back up to warrior two. And we'll do our gentle warrior dance. Inhaling, straighten the right leg, raise your arm, turn your head to the left. Exhale, lower your arms, turn your head to the right, bend your right knee. 2 more times, or was it 3? Let's do 3 more. I think we did 4 on the other side. Clearly not my day for great memory. Maybe it was 3, maybe it was 4. Maybe I'll watch later and check. I probably won't. Straighten the front leg most of the way. Draw the left hip back towards the left foot. Slide your right hand forward, tip, and find your triangle and take those nice big breaths. Exhaling, spin your left hand down, plant your hands to frame the front foot, coming up on the ball of the back foot. Step that back foot forward. 2 forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, fold down. With knees soft, arms hanging heavy like ropes, let your arms start to swing front to back. Let the weight of your arms pick up momentum so the swinging gets bigger, knees stay nice and bouncy. When you have a full swing going, swing your arms up overhead, sit back to chair. Think of releasing down into the ground. Releasing in the front of your hips, the back of your knees, the front of your ankles. Bring your hands together, bring them to your heart, press them to your sternum. Keep your hands centered here. Keep your spine nice and long like that. Keep your knees lined up. Exhale, twist to the left any amount without losing that alignment. If you twist deeply and you get your elbow outside your knee, maybe you try opening your arm. If arms are open, bring the hands back together. Slowly with control, inhale back through center, and exhale, twist the other way. The alignment is more important than the degree of twist. If you go all the way over here with the elbow hook, maybe you open your arm. Bring your hands back together. Inhale, come back through center. Big exhale, fold. Inhale, roll up to standing, hands overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. I'll be pausing for a drink. feel like I haven't done that enough so far in this practice. I'm also catching more sun than I was catching when we started. Okay, when you're ready, I'm going to play with maybe standing on one leg now. Play with tree pose. I'll probably never do an outdoor class without doing tree pose. Bring your hands to your heart. Set your eyes on something straight ahead that won't move. Shift your weight from one leg to the other. Feet planted. Your feet will find their way under your hips if they weren't there already. Drop the weight into your right leg. Let that knee stay soft and responsive. Pick up your left knee. Maybe your thigh comes parallel to the ground. Like opening a gate, bring your knee over to the side. And then you're going to bring that foot to your right leg. So maybe it's just the heel on the ankle, toes on the ground. Maybe the sole of your foot on your calf or on your thigh. Please never on your knee. You don't want to push your knee on the wrong axis. And your hands can stay right here pressing together for steadiness, or your arms can reach out. The branches of your tree can grow to any shape you want. And maybe there's breeze in your branches, or maybe your tree is more still. You want the knee to keep tracking out to the side sometimes, to reach down and just check in with the knee. Make sure you're breathing, because trees need air. Beautiful. If your hands are elsewhere, bring them back to your heart. Pivot your knee forward and let your foot down and shake out that leg and anything else you want. You don't have to dance, but some of us do. I don't think I've ever done that shaking without it being a little dancey. When you're ready, bring your hands back to your heart. Shift your weight from one leg to the other again. As many times as you want, reset your eyes on something that won't move. When you're ready, bring your weight into your left leg. It's always okay to get ahead of me. Raise the right knee. Open the gate of the hip. Bring the foot to the leg. Sometimes it's easier on one side than the other. Let your arms find their expression, whatever expression is calling you. But see, today this foot doesn't want to stay on this thigh, so I bring it to my calf. I feel like I haven't told in a couple of weeks the story of the foot on the thigh. It took me 2 years to get my foot to stay on my thigh, and I had given up on doing it. I hadn't tried it in 6 months. And one morning in class, I went to demonstrate that I couldn't do it, and I did it. I was as surprised as anyone. Bring your hands back to your heart if they're elsewhere. Bring your knee forward, let your foot down, shake things out. I feel like one more one-legged pose, I think is called for here. And we'll start out similarly to how we went into tree, but we're going somewhere else. Hands at the heart. You can shift back and forth again as you like. When you're ready, bring your weight into your right leg. Raise your left knee. Now here's where it's going to get different. Cross your ankle above your right knee. Dial the left knee towards the ground. Flex the left toes towards the shin. And we're going to release like chair pose, but only in this leg. Like you're going to sit down on something with your legs crossed. Think about your elbows approaching your knee and your foot. Keep pressing your hands together into your sternum. Keep your spine nice and long. Keep breathing. Be grateful you don't have to talk while you do it. Maybe there's contact between the arms and the leg, maybe not. If there is, it's wonderfully steadying. And if there is, when you inhale and straighten the standing leg to come out, you can play with holding the other leg as you come up. Inhale, rise, release, lower. That feels really neat in the hip when you can do that. And it looks kind of fun. It looks like you kind of detach your leg. I keep that in a file I call Party Trick Yoga. Fun visual. Shift back and forth again. You know where we're going. When you're ready, Weight comes into the left leg. Lift your right knee. Cross your ankle. Dial the knee down. Flex the toes up. Take your time releasing down. Maybe this side's easier. Maybe the other side was easier. Who cares? We note these differences. We don't need to make it look the same or feel the same. Maybe this elbow is not going to touch this foot today. Not going to try to force it. I'm releasing down instead of pushing my elbow down. I'm just releasing in my hip and my knee and accepting that that elbow is not touching that foot today. Who cares? Keep breathing. Smile if you want. I can't make you. When you're ready, inhale, stand, release, shake, shake. And let's have a seat. That's some good news, huh? Let's sit. Extend your legs forward and flex your feet back towards you. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold down over those legs. If your knees want to bend, let them. See if your breath will deepen the fold a bit. As you inhale, think of the crown of your head reaching forward towards your toes. As you exhale, think of your forehead coming down towards your legs. Inhaling, walk your hands up the front of your legs and sit up. Now let your arms help your legs open out to whatever degree is okay for you. And then still using your arms to help your legs, bend your right leg, bring your right foot over by your left thigh or left knee, sort of like tree pose. Pivot your torso, aim your sternum at your left foot, and flex your left toes back towards you. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold down over that leg. And again, see if your breath will maybe deepen the fold. We'll hang out a couple of breaths right there. Slowly open your left arm out to the side. Turn your head to look towards your hand. Rotate your arm so your thumb points down. Bend your elbow. Bring the back of your hand towards your right hip. And then peel that left shoulder back. It's okay if your hand doesn't make it to your hip. Maybe it's on your sacrum. Maybe it's somewhere between the hip and the sacrum. Extend your arm again. Turn your thumb up. And sweep that arm back over. Bring the left hand over by the right hand. Take a couple breaths. Open your right arm to the side. Turn your head. Look towards your hand. Same bind. Turn your thumb down. Bend your elbow. Bring your hand across. Peel your right shoulder back. Yanni first came up with these binds, the one that showed me these binds. And we've worked with it over time and incorporated it into our daily practice. Shout out to Yanni, who's not here today. Extend your arm and do that rotation. Reach your arm up alongside your head and overhead like you want to touch your left hand with your right hand. Inhale, reach your arm up and out to the side. Slide it across. Right hand rejoins the left. Walk your hands up your leg. Using your arms, extend your right leg. Bend your left leg. Bring your foot over. Pivot your torso. Flex your right foot. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold down. Take a couple breaths here. Open your right arm to the side, turn your head towards your hand. Rotate your arm, point the thumb down. Bend your elbow, bring the back of your hand towards your left hip and feel your right shoulder back. Extend your arm again, undo the rotation, slide your right hand over by your left hand. Open your left arm to the side, turn your head, track your hand. Turn your thumb down, bend your elbow, bring your hand across, feel your left shoulder back. Extend your arm, turn your thumb up, reach your arm up alongside your ear and overhead towards the other arm. Inhaling, lift up, reach out, sweep your arm across. Walk your hands up your leg and sit up. Let your arms help extend the left leg. Nudge the legs towards each other. Bring the soles of your feet together a good distance away from you so there's a big space between your heels and your pelvis. If you can, slide your hands under your ankles and grab the ground. If that doesn't work, reach over your ankles and grab the ground. Walk your hands forward, pretzel bind, and let your neck disengage, let your head drop, and breathe into your lower back. So the series before this is targeting compression in the center of the lower back, and you can feel some nice release generally in this fold there as well. Working at undoing compression that we get from sitting a lot. Start to scoot your hands back, press up to a seat. Take one more fold, keep the soles of your feet together, and now draw those heels in as close as you can. Interlace your fingers, grab the tops of your toes. Wriggle on your seat, bring the bones in your seat closer to the ground, tilting your pelvis forward, letting the lower spine drop down a bit more. Inhale, lengthen up through the crown of your head. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward with your spine long at first. See how far the long spine will go. When it's not lowering anymore, then let your neck go. Breathe into your head. Inhale, slowly sit up. One more time, let the arms cup the legs. Push your knees towards each other, let the soles of your feet land. Reach your hands forward. Sit back as far as you can without lifting your feet or tipping over onto your back. Doesn't matter how far it is. It's going to be a different point for each of us. We're all built differently. I'm going to play with some core work here. Lift your feet a little and take a couple breaths. You can always grab your hands with your arms if you want to or need to. Think of the highest you can lift those feet and go about halfway there. Take a couple breaths. Lift your feet as high as you can and take a couple breaths. Shaking is normal. Lower about halfway, take a couple breaths. Lower most of the way, not all the way. If you can help it, take a couple breaths. Let your feet down. Let your hands down out past your hips. Lean on your hands. Wiggle your feet further apart, maybe to the edges of your mat, and let your knees go back and forth. Maybe turning your head to the opposite side as your knees go down to each side. Or to make this more active, you can do this little jubilant variation as your knees go down to one side, sweep the opposite arm, lift the opposite hip. So maybe that feels good. It's somewhat similar to flipping your dog, and it's more accessible. When you haven't flipped the dog before, it can seem like a really daunting and scary thing to do until you try it a few times and figure it out. When you do this one, you know you're not going to crash. Or even if you do, you're not going to fall as far because you're closer to the ground when you start. Bring your feet in closer together, this far apart, 2 fists between the tops of the feet. That's about the same distance you have between your hip sockets. So we're going to have our ankles lined up with our hips. Bring your hands behind you, lower onto your forearms and onto your back. And you want to have your heels as close to your butt as they'll go, so maybe you scoot them back a bit. Press into the soles of your feet. Inhale, lift your hips up into bridge pose. If you want to go further, you can wiggle your shoulder blades in towards each other. Clasp your hands under you, reach your knuckles towards your heels. If you're clasping your hands, unclasp them. As you exhale, slowly let your hips come down. And play with bridge for a minute on your own. Inhale to lift up and exhale to come down. You can make it more challenging by taking extra breaths at the top, lifting higher, or moving more slowly. Or if you want to play with wheel, if wheel's in your practice, you could take wheel. And maybe instead of wheel or extra breaths at the top of bridge, you want extra breaths at the bottom of bridge. Explore it as you like. And let the next exhale down be the last one. Pause for a couple breaths after you land the last time. Cross your left knee over your right knee. If that's not doable for you, you can cross your left ankle over your right knee instead. Reach your arms out to the sides. Feel your shoulder blades press to the ground. Keeping your shoulders on the ground, let your legs fall to the right and turn your head to the left. Come slowly back up. Switch the cross of your legs and twist the other way. to center, uncross your legs, draw your knees towards your chest, hug your knees, rock and roll on your back, massage it against the ground. Reach your feet up, reach your hands up, take hold of your legs or your feet, wherever you like. Play with bending and straightening your limbs, exploring movement in happy baby pose. If there is some other inversion you would prefer to do, please do it. Whenever you feel complete with your inversion, you can make your way to Shavasana. If there's some other poses or movements you want to incorporate on your way there, go for it. Find your comfortable resting posture to breathe for a couple minutes and just integrate the benefits of your practice. So maybe that's corpse pose, legs extended, feet splayed apart, hands resting by the hips. But maybe that's not comfortable. You can conclude practice in any posture where you can be comfortably still for a couple minutes. You might focus on your breathing as a simple meditation, or reflect upon an intention you set for yourself at the start of our practice today. Or just give your mind permission to detach and drift. Start to find some deeper breaths. Invite small movements to return to your body, moving bit by bit, allowing your movements to gradually grow bigger, taking your time. When you're ready for bigger movements, gently sit yourself up. If you like, bring your hands up by your heart. Thank you for coming together and sharing practice today. The light within me sees and bows to that same light within each of you. Namaste. And again, the business things. I'm Leo Bray, coming to you on behalf of Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center from the northeast corner of Ruth Hardy Park. Actually, Kristen likes when I say it in my native way. the corner of Ruth Hardy Park in Palm Springs, because I'm not from here and I talk like that. Anyway, visit us online at urbanyoga.org or Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center on Facebook. There's a tip jar there where you can contribute to our Zoom classes. And there is a class schedule there listing the classes we have every day of the week on Zoom and 4 times a week right here live. Have a wonderful day. Questions and feedback are always welcome.